Hey, it's Friday, which means it's time to deploy. I'm joined by Matt and Jim. How are you folks?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good.
Yeah, really great. Really great. Had a great week, actually.
Excellent. What did you guys get up to?
I just came out of a retro with my team about our work on our new deployment pipeline, and it was one of the, you have those retros and it's just all positive stuff, and you come back going,
Yeah, don't break your arm. Don't break your arm patting yourself on the back there, right?
Yeah.
And Matt, how about you?
Yeah, I've been busy drinking from many fire hoses for the last couple of weeks, onboarding here and going through all the awesome stuff. But I've started to feel productive over the last week or two. So getting my hand in some blog posts, some content creation, and starting to work out some series and some really cool stuff that we can get out from Octopus Deploy. So I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Matt joined us about 3 weeks ago. He's still got that new employee smell, as they say. Don't let it harm me, but yeah, Matt's been enjoying his time here, drinking from the fire hose, he says. So that's great to hear. All right, let's go ahead and get into the latest news. Starting with this blog post by Kirsten. This is a blog post entitled "The Surprising Design Journey Behind Kubernetes Live Object Status." For those folks who don't know, Kubernetes Live Object Status is a feature we have introduced, clause, as I guess we call it internally, that allows you to see the state of your objects that are present for a Kubernetes deployment. So your pods, your services, all that stuff is all present within this. And this is a blog post by Kirsten that goes into all the details, the warts and all of everything that we've had going around this. So typically when building out these features, you realize that in some cases, some of the things that you built do provide some solutions, but in other cases, there's some surprises that come along the way. So as Kirsten articulates, we built this feature to provide this ability to see your live status. So this is one challenge we had to overcome, which is how do we represent statuses, right? Because you can have unhealthy and alive, I can ping it, or it can be out of sync, etc. So this was one of the challenges we had to address in reflecting this in the UI. And so we had all these various status indicators that we had to provide as part of this. And so we ended up with two, one for applications and one for objects. And this obviously evolved over the EAP, the early access preview that we provided to customers around their feedback. And so that was great. And so the new status looks like this. You can see it's beautiful and awesome, and I love it so much. And so, yeah, I've talked a little bit about this with customers. I've shown it off in demos and built videos around it. What do you guys think about this feature?
I think it's really cool. I've targeted it as one of my things that I'm going to create some short series around coming up soon, because I think it's a really nice segue into your Kubernetes cluster and what's going on, what happened at deployment time versus what's actually happening right now without having to get into the cluster and take a look at it. And the blog post itself was kind of cool because me as a technologist, I typically forget how much effort and time and thought and research goes into actually designing something. Like you'll get to it and you'll think, oh, it's just a toggle and a couple of icons. But there's a huge amount of research and thought that goes into that, which is really cool to see that unpacked.
Yeah, Jim, do you guys touch this at all in terms of the work that your team is working on?
Yeah, so all of this information, it comes out of, it's interesting because it's before, the whole point of this feature was that before a deployment happened, and once it was done, the deployment was done, and that's completely different with Kubernetes, right? The state changes over time, but all of this information still needs to flow from the targets that you're deploying to, which all comes through the execution pipeline that we build. And we had to build new capabilities into the pipeline in order to be able to work in a different lifetime scope now, or a different life cycle.
Yeah. Fantastic. Anyways, you can check out this blog post. It's up online. Great job, Kirsten and crew. It's another blog post from Steve. He's the writing machine. Automatic rollbacks are last resort. This is something that he touched up on. He's got an ongoing series around these sort of, I guess, fundamentals around continuous delivery. And so he talks a little bit about the fact that, rollbacks, while you don't want to do them, sometimes they're necessary, but automatic rollbacks, that's kind of like the nuclear option. If something goes wrong, sometimes it's not that bad, sometimes you want to keep it there and in place. And so he talks about it in the context of some of the DORA metrics, which is time to recovery, which is one of them. I think there's 4. And so in terms of that context of continuous delivery, sometimes if you ship buggy software, doesn't mean you have to automatically roll back. And so I like this article from Steve a lot, something to keep in mind when doing your deployments. So that's from Steve.
Yeah, that's a really good read. And what I like about it is that you'll often hear people talk about rolling back as if it is literally just, oh, you just go back to that Git commit or you just redeploy that old version of the container or whatever it might be. And
Yeah.
sometimes that's true and that's fine, but often it's not. And Steve makes a really good case there for if you've got good continuous delivery practices with modern software delivery and deployment strategies and things like feature flags, rolling forward is probably going to be more trivial and safer than actually trying to do a rollback anyway. So
yeah, the train always rolls forward, as they say. The one time where I get really antsy about rollbacks is when it involves data, either through schema or data itself, because you have a running log of all your transactions on your site, and that can be anything really. And so, what do you do with that? That is, if you're a banking website, that person has withdrawn their money. Now, if you do a rollback, does that mean you roll back all the data and renew their data that renewed their money that you've given them? So you got to be careful about some of those things. Now, obviously, banking is an easier example, but you get the idea. Awesome. So we have a bunch of webinars coming up. I'm pretty excited about this. This isn't all of them, by the way, but if you go to octopus.com/webinars, you'll see we have our one-on-one, which I did this morning. We'll be putting this in the archive. But coming up next week, I have Dan Garfield, yes, the man himself, talking about GitOps without the drama, real-world Kubernetes CD with CodeFresh. So Dan, if you know him, he's awesome. He's going to be talking about all the things you need to know around Kubernetes CD with CodeFresh. He'll be highlighting some of our latest and greatest innovations. So make sure to check that out. It's on May 27th. And then we have this one I'm incredibly excited about as well. We have a webinar entitled Introducing the Improved Octopus Terraform Provider. So we've been doing a lot of work around our Terraform provider. It's been out for a number of years now. I was working on it originally with the team on the integration side. And there's been a lot of work that's been done in this, which is great. So Venkatesh will be joining me to talk about it. I can't wait to see all the new innovations that have been done. So make sure to register for that. That's on May 29th. Which is also going to be a lot of fun. We have some other webinars coming up soon, so make sure to check out the the webpage as they come online. We'll talk about those in great detail. And speaking of other stuff that's happening, we have a bunch of events. Namely, we're going to be at Dash in New York. This is the Datadog Conference in New York City, June 10th to 11th. If you happen to be in New York City or happen to be at Dash, feel free to stop by our booth, say hello. We'd love to see you. And if you're in Japan, you're going to be at KubeCon. We will be there as well. A number of folks are going to be at KubeCon in Japan, June 16th and 17th. We also have KCD San Francisco, September 9th, and GitHub Universe on October 28th. So we're starting to populate this page with a bunch of future events. We're really looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. Make sure to drop by our booths if we have them. I think we have them in every case, but you can find out more information at octopus.com/events. These are some of the videos that we've been recently doing. This is the latest edition of Argo Unpacked, which is our new series. This is with Dan and Revital talking about all things Argo, and they have a guest every week. And this week it was Alexandre of Intuit. He was happy to join, talking about all things approaches with Argo CD at scale. So that's there. You can check that out. This is the Octopus 101. I kind of look the same here. So this is a bit meta, looking at myself here talking about this. This is up on our YouTube channel. You can check that out. This is a video that was done by our leadership team talking about our code, which is basically an approach we take towards leadership. And so Paul and other members of the executive leadership team talked a little bit about this. This is up on our handbook, by the way. So if you want to check out our handbook, you can see these listed there. Stay humble and stay curious. Sorry, be humble and stay curious. Level up the team. Communicate clearly, directly, and to anyone. Aim for the greater good and make it happen. And so this is a video that highlights these and other key concepts and features many members of our team, which is awesome. And then this is a new series that we have, Continuous Delivery Office Hours. This is featuring Tony, Steve, and Bob talking about a whole bunch of different topics. You can check these out on our YouTube channel. Guys, have you had a chance to watch these yet?
I have, yeah. I was chatting to Steve about it last week, and I watched one. I think we've got 2 out at the moment, and yes, there's also a few little snippets that come out of it as well, which is excellent if you've got a couple of minutes spare just to look through it. But these 3 guys just chatting through different topics and just bouncing around. It's great just to get an insight into what's going on, what's in their minds, and how they think about some of these problems. So yeah, I think it's a really cool series.
Fantastic. This one's on FSI, or the financial services industry. Obviously, they have huge compliance needs on that side of it. Incidentally, I did mention rollbacks in the case of banks. Financial services definitely have to care about this. So there you go. So yeah, if you want to check that out, that's up on our YouTube channel. And another example here, this is GitOps CD, a shiny new thing syndrome, runbooks and Octopus, etc., etc. So if you want to find out more about these things and check out the conversation that's happening there, you can check it out up on our YouTube channel. And I'm sure we'll have further episodes as we go along. So I would like to think that I was trying to force these guys to do it. I kept telling Steve and Tony and a few others, get in front of the camera. We need more people talking. So that's great to see. And of course, Bob is always in front of a camera, so I don't have to push him. So there you go. So it's great to see that. And we'll just switch over to here. So that concludes all the links that we have. Thank you for your time and attention. Really appreciate it. Matt and Jim, any final words before we wrap up?
Nothing for me. It was great to catch up with you guys.
Yeah, likewise.
Yep.
Matt, where are folks going to see you next? Like, where's your next event? Do you have one coming up?
I don't have any events actually lined up. That's something that I'm sort of working through at the moment and planning what we're going to be at, and then what's also going on sort of locally here up in Melbourne and Sydney. So having a look at the calendar and seeing what we can plan there. So I'm excited about some of the events that are coming up and seeing if I can get along to those. So until then, you'll see some stuff out from me on the content on the Octopus Deploy blog and on YouTube as well. If you follow me on any of the social medias, you'll see me and my ramblings there as well. So
there you go. So yeah, the best thing to do is just send an email to bring Matt to my conference at octopus.com.
Email is not real. Please do not try this alias. It will likely bounce. You can, however, ping Matt directly if you're keen to have him deliver a talk at your event.
So there you go.
That's right. Yeah. Real address.
Cool. All right. Well, there you have it. That's the latest news. So on behalf of all of us here, to you, happy deployments, everyone. We'll see you next week. Take care.